I've been trying to build my chest for a couple of years now. So more recently, I've started to do more research, stay more consistent, and here's a compilation of my top 5 exercises. Calisthenics, of course. I've gotten a little more shredded, a little bigger, so I think this could help you out on your journey as well.
You may think that push-ups are a beginner exercise, but trust me, there are so many variations out there that you can get really good chest gains with doing push-ups alone. Push-ups are perfect because they offer a really good stretch in a really comfortable position. So get the most out of your push-up, go down really slowly and explode on the way up. Have a little pause at the bottom and get as low as you can to the ground without touching it. Progressions look somewhat like this. Start with elevated push-ups with your hands on a table or the stairs, down to your regular push-ups, down to slight explosive push-ups, to explosive push-ups, to clap push-ups, and in that mix you also have archer push-ups, pseudo planche push-ups. You can add weight by just putting a backpack on and adding a couple things into it. And it's for these reasons that push-ups are my top 5 chest exercises for calisthenics. Ring flies are more of an advanced skill, but once you learn them, they provide the best gains out of any of these exercises. They provide one of the deepest stretches that you can possibly get, while also maintaining a really good contraction at the top. Master this movement by starting with the easiest variation where your legs are farther forward and the rings are higher up. Slowly progress as you lower the rings, and then you're going to have a really huge chest. To get the most out of this movement, start at the top with your hands together and slowly move down through the movement, pausing at the top, and then bring your hands together in an explosive movement. Change the angle of the fly to hit different parts of your chest. Blowing your arms will target your lower chest, and raising them will target your upper chest. Because of the stretch and how they feel, I have to put flies in my top 5 list of best chest building exercises. I separated decline push-ups from regular push-ups just because of the fact that they hit your upper chest rather than your lower chest, which is what the usual push-ups do. And I just think that these are great for building your upper chest if you're a beginner. The best way to do these is to have a slight elevation of around a foot and placing your hands shoulder width apart like a regular push-up. Angle yourself slightly into the ground so that you hit more of your upper chest rather than your lower chest. Descend slowly with a slight pause at the bottom and explode up to the top of the movement, squeezing your chest the entire way. If these are too easy for you, you can always add weight, or you can use rings, or any other way you can think of to make it harder. One way to get bigger chest gains is to get a bigger stretch, and to do that you can either use parallettes or some sort of wood blocks, textbooks, anything that can really give your hands equal elevation, just so you can get deeper into the push-up, which will give your chest more of a stretch and of course more gains. This is a very simple exercise, but it's also one of my favorites, and that's why I made it onto my top 5 chest building exercises for calisthenics. Ring press is the ultimate form of the push-up. Rather than just pushing on the solid ground, you have rings which are really shaky and make this movement much harder. Also, you can get a much deeper stretch because you can go far beyond where the ground would usually be, and a better contraction, of course. To start this movement, I would recommend starting with higher rings just so the movement's easier when you get the technique first. To get the best contraction, hold the rings out about a shoulder width apart and go down into a push-up, just like you normally do on the floor, so your hands will be a little bit below your chest. When you're at the bottom, slight pause, and make sure you're very stretched. Explode upwards to the movement to the top, and at the same time, bring your hands together. This is the biggest difference between ring press and the push-up, because you can get your hands together, which gives it that extra little bit of movement, that extra little squeeze at the top, which is awesome. Of course, you make this harder by lowering the rings, but you can also add weight when that becomes impossible. The deep stretch offered by this exercise is why I put it in my top 5 chest building exercises. I feel like dips are very underrated just because of how good of a stretch they get. And yeah, I feel like they could hurt your shoulder, but if you do them properly, you should be all right. The biggest thing to be worried about is your shoulders, so leaning forward while you do your dip is the best way to save your shoulders. This will allow you to get the full stretch of the movement while also keeping your shoulders safe. As always, going slowly on the way down, slight pause at the bottom, and exploding up is the best way. You also want to push your shoulders into the ground. Don't slouch, because that'll make the movement a lot less effective. If you don't have dip bars anywhere near you, you can always use 2 chairs or stools like I am here, and that's why this movement is also very accessible to anyone. If you can't do a full dip yet, you can use your feet on the ground as a slight aid, but just make sure you don't turn it into a leg exercise instead of a chest exercise. Once you get to full dips, then you can start adding weight with a weight vest, with a weight belt, or any other way you think of. Other than chest flies, I say that this is my favorite exercise to build your chest.
These were my top 5 chest building exercises using calisthenics, so let me know what you think down in the comments. Hit that like button, hit subscribe, it would mean the world to me. Once again, thank you so much for 100 subscribers, it means the world to me, so thank you. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video, bye.